Okay, guys, let's move on to the next topic here, because this is like really close to our hearts.
Yeah, this is all about interactive audio, and we got a couple of things we're going to go over in this.
Yeah.
The first one is, what is interactive audio? The final frontier sound.
Yeah.
Hey, do we have any audio engineers in the audience?
Hey, yeah. Does anybody, audio, sound engineering?
People who can call us out if we're wrong?
Yeah.
So, what is interactive audio exactly?
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm going to read this off. Or you want to read it off?
Okay.
And then we'll talk about it.
Sure. So, interactive audio, it is a technological approach to sound that allows audio, when placed in a given application, it's designed to react to user input or changes in the application environment. Basically, it's sound or music that plays a dynamic part in the user experience.
It really honestly is. So let's not talk about the technical side of this, because they're going to go all over the place in this article. It's a very, very good article.
Keep us on the straight and narrow path, KV. Since you dabble in it.
What interactive audio is it's audio that responds to the user.
Yeah.
That in its basics is what it is. And that can be used in a video game in a number of different ways.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if you're thinking like a rhythm game, not quite, think of a game like Flowscape, I think. Flowscape's actually a terrain generator. But it's a game where as you're playing, and you're moving the little character around and you're moving these little particle systems around, it changes the notes.
Yeah.
It changes what is actually being heard. Now, you can have interactive audio be less that and more like as a person moves through the environment reacts, and the sound that comes out of the environment is based on what the player is doing.
Yeah.
What is happening currently in the environment. So when you're using interactive audio at its base...
Hey, JD.
Hey,
thank you. Yes, we called for an audio engineer here.
There you go.
And Vero. Hey, we picked up Vero too.
We're talking about interactive audio.
Yes.
And we're trying to describe it in its most base concept and then kind of expand how it can be used in video games. So here we go. It's good to see you, JD. So when you're using interactive audio as a game developer, you're making sure that the game itself, the application, like they call it in the definition, is altering the sound based on the user input. What is the user doing at that moment? What is the character doing? There was a game I played a long time ago called Clouds.
Yes, Clouds.
Where you're like a little kid in a hospital, okay? And you're in a hospital bed and you're really sick. But then I think the nurse guides you through a guided meditation, and the kid is flying through the air. It's basically a little flying simulator. And you're flying, and as you're touching the clouds, the tones change of the clouds. And depending on whether you're higher, the pitch will be higher, you're lower, the pitch will be lower. And as you're flying and touching these clouds, and they're of course reacting to you, like as your hand goes by and you're going through the mist and the mist is spreading, goes like that. And the environment of these clouds are making noises based off of what your little boy character is doing as you're flying.
Yeah.
So in its core, interactive audio can be used that way. Now, if we pull back a little bit, interactive audio can be used in a less symphonic way and more just having the environment react.
Right. You know, especially if you're in VR, you know, when you pick up an object, that's going to make a sound.
Yeah.
When you're walking, you know, your footsteps, when you're in front of a fireplace and the fire's going, you're going to hear all that.
And JD brings up a good point. Modulation, attenuation, spatialization.
Yes, spatialization, yes.
That's what I meant to say. So, in other words, the audio is going to be a little different depending on where it is. Footfalls are a great example. That was a really good example. Footfalls are going to sound different on wood than they are on carpet.
Yeah.
They're going to sound different in a large room as opposed to a smaller room or an area with a lot of reverb and echo. So you, as the developer, need to not just have your footfalls be the same footfall sound, thump, 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 thump. You need to change it.
Yeah.
Whether you're using a different wave file or whether you're modulating it inside the engine itself. Definitely 3D engines like Unreal and Unity can do that shit. And, you know, you're changing it up. And a really good example is the game that I made for the Hawks Game Jam. It actually does use that. As you're stepping on different things, the footfalls change. So if I'm walking on wood, it sounds like wood. If I'm walking on a rug, it sounds like a rug. Those are all things that you need to do. Another example would be wind, a wind effect.
Yes.
A wind effect outside as the wind is rustling through the trees is going to sound completely different than when you're inside of a house where the wind is coming in through the cracks underneath the door. But you're going to want to use, those sounds to show a change in the environment.
Yeah, and JD brings up some good resources. Audio connects WIs.
Okay.
And the FOMOD with the occlusion.
Okay.
And audio surface materials. These are all things that are free for small games.
Yeah, JD, if there's anything that you want to throw the link into the chat, that would
throw
be
the
amazing.
Links up.
Or you can DM me and I'll put it in the description of the video.
That'd be even better. Yeah.
So the idea is, before we move on, is that when you're creating your game, don't just use flat sound. Change it through the modulation, spatialization, add some reverb, use the Doppler like what Burke is talking about, so that as the environment is different, regardless of what that environment is, the audio itself changes.
Yeah, and that really adds to the user experience.